Digital Marketing Associate.
I'm Natalie. I'm the marketing assistant here at NOVL.
I'm Bill. I'm the marketing coordinator.
I'm Morgan. I'm the publicity assistant.
And I'm Savannah, the digital marketing assistant.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about all things The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. If you haven't read The Cruel Prince yet, you should stop watching this because this is a spoiler zone.
Just kidding about it.
There will be spoilers beyond this point. Yeah, there will be spoilers. We're not going to spoil The Wicked King. We are going to spoil the crap out of The Cruel Prince, and if you haven't read it yet, you should read it, and you should stop watching this video and then watch it after you read it.
So The Cruel Prince, we open on Jude, Taryn, and Vivi, and they're living with their human family, and they're having a great time, and then Maddox comes in and kills their parents and spirits them off to fairyland. Because Jude, Taryn, and Vivi's mom was his wife, and she spirited them away when she realized that fairy was a dangerous and dark place, and now Maddox has come back to reclaim Vivi, who is his fairy heir. So the twins, Jude and Taryn, grow up in fairy, but they're fully human, and they have a rough time with that. It's a dangerous, dangerous place. Taryn wants to earn her place in fairy by marrying a fae lord and earning her place in the court, whereas Jude wants to earn her place by becoming a knight. So that has been her goal for the longest time, but when she realizes that she is not going to be allowed to present herself as a knight to the court in the upcoming tournament, she starts to fight back against the fairy bullies that she and Taryn have been dealing with pretty much their whole lives. And then things happen. Prince Dane, one of the Fae princes, comes to Jude and wants to use her ability to lie because fairies cannot tell lies, so she can act as a spy for him. Even though she's not allowed to be a knight, she gets this opportunity to be a spy and earn her place in the court. So she takes that opportunity and can obviously tell no one, and so she begins training to be a spy. Meanwhile, Taryn and Vivi are going through their own things, and then there is a coronation coming up. So a lot of Jude's training and a lot of her missions have been dealing with trying to find out information from Prince Dane, who everyone assumes is going to take the crown of fairy. And then everyone dies. Everyone dies at the coronation with the exception of Balakin, who was the firstborn son, but not the favorite to become king. And he has been helped by Maddox, and that is a major shock to Jude, so she goes off and she starts trying to figure out her place within the court now that her benefactor has died. And presumably there is no king of fairy. And then things continue to happen. She kidnaps Cardan, who has been one of her main bullies. I didn't mention Cardan this whole time. What's wrong with me?
Cardan and his tail do not deserve that.
I've saved the best for last. So Cardan has been one of her main bullies, and they're in the same year at school. He's been bullying her along with his terrible, terrible, terrible friends. He is the 7th Prince of Faerie, and he somehow escapes the bloodbath, and she kidnaps him. And so now she suddenly has this power move that she can use against her father Maddox, and she knows that Maddox will only want war if he gets what he wants, which is essentially to rule fairy. So she begins unraveling this long-going plot to overthrow the King of Faerie in the kingdom, and so she realizes that the fairy boy who has been raised as her brother Oak is actually secretly an heir to the throne. Things happen, and she crowns Cardan King of Faerie in the hopes of delaying war and not allowing Balakin to become king, or Oak to become king, which is what Maddox wanted, because he wanted to be able to control the crown, which is not cool. In the end, Cardan has become the new King of Faerie. Jude has become his, is it seneschal? Seneschal?
Seneschal. We should look it up.
Seneschal. So Jude has become his main advisor and the one who carries out all of his deeds. Secretly, though, Jude is essentially running the show. Oak has been spirited away to the human realm to live with Vivi and Taryn, and I guess I didn't mention Lockeye. I've done a very good job.
Jude kills Valerian.
Jude kills Valerian.
One of the bullies. Nicasia has a crazy ex.
Locke and Taryn have been like,
commingling.
they've been getting green on their dress.
Meanwhile, Locke has been also flirting with Jude.
Making out on balconies.
And the kicker is Taryn knew the whole.
And Vivi wants to spirit them back to the human world because she doesn't like her.
She has a human girlfriend too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vivi has a
Can't forget Heather.
Yeah. Can't forget Heather. Can't forget Heather.
That's
tea.
That's the tea.
So we have some discussion points about the Cruel Prince, and then we're gonna get our personal thoughts into this, and hopefully nothing becomes heated because before this started, it was getting heated. Let's get started. So on the blog, Natalie wrote signs as folk of the air characters, right? So each sign is corresponding to a character. So we're gonna talk about what sign we are, what character we are, and whether or not we identify with that character. Bill, you start.
Awesome. So I am a Sagittarius. So technically, according to Nat's chart, that makes me Nicasia, which I have feelings about.
Okay.
But when you factor in rising and moon signs, I'm much more content because in that case I would be a Jude rising with an oak moon, which I can deal with that.
Yeah. Okay. Who do you identify with the most?
I would say I was not. I do think I could come off a bit like Jude because I do have a very analytical mind where I'm thinking about eventualities a lot. And sort of if I do this, what happens now? It's great. But I could see obviously because she's going back and forth between land and sea, she's got that Sagittarius travel thing. So I think it was well done.
Thanks.
Well lined up.
I am not an expert in astrology.
All right, Natalie.
What's yours?
What's yours?
So I'm a Capricorn, and I think I put that as the ghost.
Yeah. Are you strategic, patient, ambitious, shy, and stubborn? She is.
And I think it's pretty overall pretty accurate. I think I'm pretty ambitious. I think the only thing that I didn't agree with was I can be patient at times, but I think in general I'm not patient because I'm very ambitious and I'm just I just want to get stuff done. I want to move forward. And I think beyond people who I feel comfortable with or people that I've known for a long time, I can come off as pretty shy.
Yeah.
But in situations like this where I like you guys, obviously I'm not shy.
Thank you.
But I think it's overall pretty accurate. What were you?
I'm a Scorpio, so I'm Jude.
Of course.
Thank you,
Throw
Natalie.
a Scorpio.
I am a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio bug. Driven, smart, obsessive, and paranoid. Yeah,
I can vouch for
that's definitely it. I'm pretty driven, pretty obsessive. When I do become obsessed with something, I'm because I overthink and I get in my bag about a lot of things. So I do identify with Jude.
I feel in a good way sometimes though, because you can get really into your work and it's in a good way.
I'm also paranoid. It comes with overthinking.
Or prepared.
And
I also
the tea.
This isn't water. This is just poison.
What?
You got that right?
Oh,
I got it.
So I am a Leo,
All right,
which makes me lock. And I literally texted you the moment I found out. I messaged her and I was like, I'm lock, you made me lock. I feel so attacked right now.
Ready? Dramatic, charismatic, proud, and controlling. I don't see the controlling part.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm I am a control freak, but I've gotten better at being able to be I'm a control freak with the things that are under my care.
I love his character. Obviously he's a terrible person at times.
Yeah.
But
He's one of those villains you love.
Right.
You love to hate.
Yeah.
And
it's
I agree, he is such a Leo. He's a total Leo. And I hate it, but it's true. The truth hurts.
So I'm an Aquarius, which makes me Vivi, which I'm very okay with.
Wait, hold on, let me read the thing.
I love when she loves her family so much and she's always willing to help them and put others before herself, and I feel that's a very Aquarius trait in a lot of ways.
Friendly, inventive, irresponsible, scatterbrained.
Irresponsible is true. I feel I'm pretty organized.
You are organized.
Yeah.
You say awkward.
Yeah. In
You
my
get
life,
your
we're not
job done.
Some people just need to have a certain amount of chaos in their life
Yeah.
to be focused in another place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
It's
that's
balance.
exactly.
What is your favorite part of the book? I got mine. Mine's the tail.
Is it a spoiler for the Wicked King to say that the tail shows up several
back.
more times
I
and features
need to
perhaps
know how.
more prominently in the Wicked King than it did in the Cruel Prince?
So my favorite part is when Jude goes to the tent of Reuben and Kay, and they eat Chinese food and discuss her plan, just because I thought that was like such great banter, and it really described the worlds very well. Another thing, but I just love that part when she like stabs a dumpling with a chopstick and eats it in front of them. I was like, yes. So
My favorite part was absolutely the poison fake out. The Princess Bride is one of my favorite movies of all time. A good Iocane fake out is always. So yeah, was a big fan of that. I'm pretty sure I was doing something to the effect of like, it's good content.
So I feel this is kind of like basic. The coronation. I'm not a big fantasy fan, and I'm not a big fairy fan. And so when I started this book, I enjoyed the writing, and I was like, this is okay, but I'm not like loving it like everyone else seems to be. And so I'm like getting through it, and it's like getting more and more interesting. I was like, okay, like I feel like I'm getting my groove. And then the coronation scene happened, and I was like, bow down to Holly Black. Oh, I'm hooked. Like I'm gonna read the rest of this series, and I know that I'm gonna love it. Just how it was placed and what a shock it was to me. I was like, this is just like good writing and good plotting, and I was like, yes, I love that.
My favorite part, this part is dark and weird, and
That's okay.
fitting.
it's where she stabs the knife through her hand. I like that part because it seemed to be like the first point at which Dane started to respect her a little bit and like was surprised by her. It felt like the first big test, if that makes sense. It was a good character moment for like all of them.
If it were to ever become a TV show or a movie, what would the dream casting be?
Just out there, maybe he's too old for it now, but I mean, he's 2 years old. Rami Malek as Cardan.
I have thought about that before. I feel like he would be a good card.
I can see it.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
He's got some dark mischief in his eyes, which I feel like is an essential character trait for Cardan.
Yeah.
I
I
like
think
that.
Zoe Dutch for Jude. And I also think she could be really fierce and put in the right role. And she's great cheekbones, so I feel like.
And then I think I can see her as Jude and Taryn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think she could do both.
Yeah.
For sure. And she's young enough too, I feel like it would work out.
Who would be Vivian?
That's what I was just thinking. I was trying to think of the first person that comes to mind for some reason, and I don't think this is a good, well maybe, I don't know, is Emma Stone for whatever reason. I think it's like she's just kind of like dry and sarcastic in a lot of her role, or like she's like dry but fun, you know, that sort of thing.
How about Maddox? Thanos.
I picture him as Thanos! No, you're not wrong. Really, Malik is Thanos in my mind, and I keep trying to like refresh it in my mind, but he's
Zoe
Thanos.
Dutch. We got Emma Stone. We got Thanos.
No, he has to.
I was picturing Maddox as being like built.
Oh, really?
No.
I was picturing him.
I was picturing him as Thanos.
Yeah.
So.
Even with like the stuff on Thanos' chin, I was like, Malik has a weird thing there.
I kind of pictured him like as like a more human crossover from like the orcs from the World of Warcraft movie.
Oh, okay, wow.
Well, just because like he has like kind of like an underbite with like big teeth there, right? So like something about that just like reminded me of that. Like if there was less CGI involved there, I could see it, but I don't know who played that. I don't think he's thin. I don't think he's like a bodybuilder though. I think he's just like a big dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Liam Neeson.
Especially after some burritos, I can
Yeah.
absolutely see Liam Neeson as
Yeah.
Maddox.
Who would Shia LaBeouf play?
Cardan. No, I think
Actually,
He's
I
actually-
can see that.
Yeah.
Shia would be Valerian
For sure.
All right, last one. Who would play Locke?
Who plays is it Jude, but in Shadowhunters.
Yeah.
Shadowhunters. Who plays him in Shadowhunters?
Jamie
Campbell.
Jamie Campbell.
I can see that.
He's Locke.
I mean,
Because he's like foxy.
No, I see him on like Timothy Chalamet.
No!
Because like his character from Lady Bird just is Locke.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna answer some audience questions. Do you think Jude and Cardan will get a happy ending?
They better.
I think so. I think it'll be like kind of bittersweet.
Yeah.
It'll be a bittersweet ending. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For the two of them. Or they'll just be like perfectly dysfunctional together, you know?
I think they've got a lot of stuff to mire through, but
See, I'm like on the fence for rooting for them or not because I think that their relationship is just so problematic. I think that it's a really interesting and entertaining relationship, but I can see it going either way. I'm not partial to either ending. I think that I could be happy with either one, like depending on how well like the relationship plays out.
Okay, since I haven't read The Wicked King yet, I
Yeah.
can tell you guys what I think. I love them. I think they're totally gonna get together and it's gonna be happy. I think they're gonna rule the world. I also think Cardan's gonna come to his senses and want to rule too and be a great king. And I think that Jude is gonna like have to sacrifice some of her like, I'm gonna be an individual for the rest of my life and not trust anyone and blah blah blah. I do definitely think that like some tragedy is gonna happen on both their ends, but it's already happened. And I also feel like they definitely hate each other for societal issues because she's immortal and he's a fairy, and so I think that's gonna get in the way of stuff. But I truly think they're gonna fall in love and it's gonna be really great. And I haven't read The Wicked King yet, so
that's the thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's a trilogy. We don't have all of the pieces for their relationship. Does their relationship have like toxic, problematic elements to it, especially in the way that it starts? Yes, but I don't think we've seen the full picture. There are still too many secrets.
See, that's why I'm on the fence with whether or not
Yeah.
like what I like as a reader want to see happen. I'm like there are too many things that I don't know about how it will go.
There's so much unknown.
Yeah.
And we have a whole other book.
I want them to end up together. Whether or not they do, however, I don't know. I want, yeah, I'm in the same boat where I want them to be happy and together and for it to all happen. I don't know if it will though, and it's stressing me out.
there's gonna be a push and pull for sure.
We'll see how you feel at the end of the Wicked King.
Yeah.
And that's my tea.
Yeah. Morgan's tea. Two more questions. Okay, so would you forgive your own sibling if they did to you what Taryn did?
No.
I would have a tough time. I would have a really tough. I would have a tough time, especially if they stayed with the person.
Yes.
I mean, there would be nothing to be mad at if they didn't know about it. But like, if I had a sibling that was my age and like I found out that my like boyfriend, boy I was seeing, was like going after her too, I would be like, oh no, all of this is done. Like we're done here. And yeah, I don't think I could.
I think that was the point of no return for me because I feel like Taryn wasn't oblivious, but she just was like meek compared to all the other characters. And so I would never leave my sister in a stream about to die. Not that I feel like Jude was really in actual danger, but I would never do part of the things that she did before that point. But when she found out that Locke was doing that to Jude, that's just the point of no return. You don't do that to siblings. And if my sister's watching this, she would probably agree.
They are all like terrified of these fairies. Like they're just like infinitely more powerful than them. I can understand why she did what she did and still hate her. Anybody would be scared in this world. I think that Jude is an exception. I think that like the reason why she thrives is because she is just so cunning and so ambitious and so power hungry that like in the mortal world people would be like stay away from her, like she's crazy. But because of those things, that is exactly what makes her thrive in this situation. And I can't help but wondering, like, if Taryn wasn't surrounded literally by so many things and creatures that could just do whatever they wanted to them, do things worse than death to the people that she loves. So I still wouldn't forgive her, but also read The Lost Sisters. I understand why she did what she did.
I also, just one thing, I do think that Jude, yes, it's her cunning that gets her through it, but multiple times she mentions how she has so much fear in her that that's what drives her. So I don't think that she isn't afraid. I just think like it drives her in a different way than Taryn does.
Yeah. Her response to that fear is to plan her way out.
Right.
Rather than,
Succumb.
yeah. Which I will say I mean, clearly cunning is a family trait because of the choices that Taryn makes. And I think you were saying this a little bit earlier, that like Jude being the way she is and them being twins makes their growing apart understandable as a reason for Taryn to sort of like maybe do this to like get back at Jude, but also get Jude to pay attention to her, because like at the beginning of the book they are described as being so close, and then really over the course of the whole book there's very few moments where it's just the two of them exhibiting that same kind of sibling closeness.
If my brother did that to me, I don't think I could forgive him. I guess like, let's say if Taryn was my sibling, I don't think I could forgive him either, only because like my brother and I are just so close and so loyal to each other that like even when we were younger we like never snitch on each other. We never like, even if we got into fights, like my parents were never involved with it because my brother and I would just iron it out ourselves. So I like can't imagine this like type of betrayal, and I feel like if that ever like happened to me, then I would just like you said, I can understand why Taryn did why she did, but I don't think I could forgive it.
I also think the part where Cardan is like, we're hurting her because of you, is like shock to the heart, because it's like, how can you continue doing what you're doing when it's laid out so clearly that you're the reason that your sister has me?
And I think the way that I viewed it was like, Jude is doing all of these things, but they are largely to herself. Does that make sense? Like, she is poisoning herself, she is driving knives through her hands, like she is giving herself for this. Taryn is giving her sister. Does that make sense? Like, Taryn is sacrificing Jude. And that's, I think, the biggest difference to me, is like, that's where I think that kind of selfish sacrifice is where I'm like, oh, that's not okay. Like, you don't allow other people to hurt your sister in your stead and let that be okay.
Last question, and we're gonna try to keep this one short and what do we think of the ending?
Okay, so I don't know if anybody else is, I totally saw the Cardan crowning coming.
I also saw it.
Because I didn't think that I didn't think it was possible for them to crown Oak and then just whisk him away to the mortal world, because there's too many implications, there's too many people involved for that to truly be acceptable, and Madame already killed their parents and found them, so I just felt like that wasn't the plausible answer. So I was like, she's gonna crown Cardan and it's just gonna be a mind blowing. And so I loved that part for sure.
So I actually totally didn't see the crowning of Oak. Like, for some, I don't know. I probably just didn't see it coming. But when that happened, I was like, oh, like I lost my mind. I was like, I distinctly remember I was in bed. It was probably like 4 a.m. because that's how I read these books. And I was just like internally screaming.
What about you?
Oh, I totally saw it coming. Like I completely saw it coming. I also knew, like, I knew Locke was up to something when, like, he was, like, going after Jude and stuff. And, like, I totally knew that. But I also knew it was Taryn, because Taryn was weak. Yeah, but, I mean, the ending didn't surprise me, but the coordination part did surprise me a lot. I like that ending.
Yeah, no, I like the ending too. I did see I saw Cardan becoming king.
Holly's gonna be
but I was like, well, when we started like watching, when we found out about Oak, like when Jude like binds herself to him, I was like, okay, like something is coming. She's like, all right, yeah, okay, I see it.
I came into work and I was 50 pages from the end of the book, and I turned to everyone and I was like, I need you all to know how much strength it took to not come in late to work today. Yeah, no, that's the ending. It was great. Pieces of it I did see coming, but then other pieces I didn't, and I felt like the collective domino effect of all of the shocking revelations was just perfection, and so well done. Because we've all kind of said it's so well plotted that as the revelations were happening, it's like, oh my gosh, that's right. Those hints were dropped like 200 pages ago. I should have known. So good. Yeah. So
You
good.
go back and you reread the part where she's like making the promise with Cardan, and I read that and I was like, oh no! Like I was, ooh.
Last thing I want to say is that like when I think when Cardan like promised himself to Jude, I like thought that was like a sign of like his love.
I do too.
Yeah. But I'm a romantic, right? So
Me
it's
too. I want them to love each other.
The year in the day thing is also a very fairy thing.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was shocking that he did it so quickly. Like he's like, okay. I was like,
So it's
I'm
time
with that.
to end this. So Morgan can say it. You do it.
And that's the take.
All right. So that's it for this month, and we will see you guys